Should I scoot up? Oh, Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's been a minute since I've posted anything. I just wanted to do a video that was dedicated to my time working at Disney and living in Florida, and kind of just like a catch up of where I'm at now, what I want this channel to be, and that kind of stuff. So if you're interested in what it's like to work for Disney, then definitely stay tuned. So without further ado, let's get on into it. All right, so first order of business, I quit working for the Walt Disney Company. So I worked there for almost 2.5 years. I worked April 2018 to August 2020. And let me tell you, it was a journey. When I decided to leave the company, I was pretty burnt out from working there, I think, and just living in Florida in general. Mostly living in Florida in general. But yeah, it was just a lot. There were a lot of things that I didn't like about Florida, and there are a lot of things that I did like about Florida, but ultimately the cons outweighed the pros, and especially with COVID going on, my job just wasn't gonna be the same for a long time, and I feel like people were kind of talking, at least where I worked, like people were just kind of talking about how like we don't know how long my job's gonna stick around. So to recap, I went into the company and I was doing lifeguarding. At that time they were really short on lifeguards, so there was like a bonus. So I literally applied to whichever job I could get, and I had applied to do the college program 2 times. At this point I got denied both times. And the second time I was like especially crushed because I got all the way to the end of the entertainment audition, which is what I really, really wanted to do, and kind of why I moved down there, was to pursue entertainment. And yeah, so I was really bummed the second time because I really thought I got it, but I didn't, and for good reason. I'm so thankful that I did not get into entertainment at that point, because I really truly would not know the people that I know today. And yeah, it was a blessing in disguise, even though I was devastated about it in the moment. So if you're a person who's chasing after Disney entertainment and you're not getting it for some reason, like, just know it's gonna be okay. I totally know what it's like to have your whole world revolve around that, because mine definitely did for a while leading up to moving there. And then like 6 months after I lived there, I was kind of like, it's okay that I'm not getting it, and I kind of moved into pursuing the singing side of Disney, which is really, really difficult to get into as well. Just as it's pretty difficult to get into like character performing too. So yeah, I decided to focus all of my energy on trying to get into like the singing world of Disney and equity singers and stuff. And I was auditioning, I want to say for like probably a year, not just at Disney. I was auditioning at Universal too. And yeah, so I spent a lot of time auditioning, and which is mainly like why I wanted to live down there, was that I could audition and possibly get a performing job at the theme parks. And that didn't end up happening for me, but it's 1000% okay. Like it's so weird, because literally if you had told me back before I moved to Florida that I would not get into entertainment, I probably would have been so upset. And now it's kind of like, it's okay. Like, my whole world doesn't have to revolve around that, and everything happens for a reason. And I'm really glad that it happened the way that it did. I would not change anything about my Disney experience and living down there. But yeah, so once Corona hit, they announced they were closing the parks, but they did not announce that they were going to be closing the resorts, which is where I worked. So I started off as a lifeguard, transferred into a children's activities job, which is literally the best job in the whole entire world. I had so much fun, and I got to work in a couple different resorts, so I just had fun all around. Like, my resort was my favorite, but that's just because I'm biased. I got to work at a couple of different resorts, and it was just literally the best time in the whole entire world. I had so much fun. I would not trade it for the world. But yeah, so those are the 2 jobs that I did. Well, I ended up doing 3 jobs, but I'll get to that. 2 jobs that I did that were like my status positions. I did not like lifeguarding. That's not my personality, I think. very outgoing, and children's activities definitely fit my personality a little bit better. So I'm thankful that I got to do that, and I got to stay at my home resort for it, which was really nice. So yeah, I was a full-time lifeguard, transferred to part-time because I started to go to school. So the second year, so this past year, 2019-2020 school year is when I went to school, and Disney thankfully paid for it. One of the many things that I'm thankful for is being able to have gone to school and have Disney pay for that. Is really, really cool. Yeah, so I studied musical theater down there for a year, and I always knew that I wouldn't want to finish up my degree in Florida, so I kind of knew there was a certain timeline that I wanted to be down there and then that I wanted to move home by. But there were a lot of factors that played into me quitting and leaving the company. So circling back to Corona. So Corona hit, and the parks had announced they were closing, but the resorts we didn't say anything, so we were like, well, I guess we're just gonna stay open. Maybe it'll only last 2 weeks, who knows? Then a couple days later, we got news that resorts were closing as well. But before I even heard that, my mom, or I think it was the day that we found out, my mom was actually stuck in Europe. So I was like, I need to fly home tomorrow, and everybody at work was like, yes, go home and fly home tomorrow. Well, eventually I got home, and then my mom got home, and everything was fine, but it was stressful. So I got home, and Disney was able to pay us for, I think it was a month, they averaged out our hours basically of what we had worked in the past, and then paid us based on that. And that only lasted for a month, and then everybody got to go on unemployment basically, but I didn't because I got a different job at a store that remained open. So I got a job at a store, and now I'm working in retail. Basically, I got a job, and then I think it was in July we were called, or maybe it was end of June, beginning of July, we were called back to go to work. And I just remember I was so upset. I did not want to go back to work. As a lot of why I moved home is because of my family. My siblings, I have younger siblings, and they're quite a bit younger, so I just felt like I was missing out on a lot. I didn't get to, that's them stomping upstairs. I didn't really get to, I had to miss Christmas that year, and that really made me very bitter. And I was really upset because I'd never missed a Christmas before, and it was a hard time for me, especially because my siblings are so young. So that was a huge part of why I moved home. Yeah, I had a lot of things that I wanted to do and I wanted to accomplish, and I couldn't do them in Florida anymore. So I decided to move home. I went back to work for 3 weeks maybe, and that's when I got to do the third job, which was in Credit Crew. And basically those are the people in the parks making sure that you keep your mask on the whole time and that you're wearing it correctly. I have a couple of crazy stories about that too. That was really interesting. Yeah, so I got to go work in all the parks. I actually only worked in 3 parks. I was supposed to work at all 4 parks, but I had to call out of my last shift because I had to pack up my things so that I could move home. So end of July, I packed up all my stuff. My family came down thankfully to help me move everything back. Packed up all of my stuff, and I moved back home. And ever since then I've been working, like I said, in retail, which has been a little bit difficult because my other job was so rewarding. I'm getting emotional. No. So it's been a little bit hard because I definitely, for the past maybe week or so, have been really missing Disney a lot and missing my old job. I know it was the right thing to do to move home though, 1000%. I don't regret it, and I would make the decision over and over again. But it's just hard going from a job that felt so rewarding and so meaningful, especially when I'd get families coming back to the resort and stuff, and seeing them, whether it was every year, every couple of months, they'd come and spend time at the resort. You really grew close to these families, and you really felt like you were making an impact on them. So yeah, it's definitely hard to not compare the jobs because they're literally incomparable, but it's hard. It's a difficult transition is what it is. It's a difficult transition. And yeah, I definitely miss working at Disney a lot, but also the grass is always greener. I was very unhappy there, and I just kind of try to keep reminding myself that like at the very end I was really unhappy. I was crying a lot because I wanted to just like be home and stuff, and I know ultimately it was the right decision for me, but still, it's hard not to feel like I got some of my Disney experience kind of taken away a little bit from coronavirus, just because I always imagined what my last shift would be like, and I always imagined what my last day would be like and stuff. I always thought I'd be able to watch Happily Ever After with my friends and like go to Jelly Rolls one last time with everyone, and it was just kind of all, I didn't know the last times were the last times, you know? It was difficult, but I'm very thankful 1000% that I got to work at Disney. It was so fun. Such a small percentage of people get to do something like that, and I feel so lucky that I was part of that, and that I could be part of some families' lives in Disney and coming back and seeing me and stuff like that. It was really amazing. But also living in Florida is kind of a con. I hated the weather. I didn't realize I would hate the weather until I moved there, how hot it was, but I did love working outside. So it's really weird. I loved working outside, being outside, moving around, dancing. It was so fun. But I did hate the weather. Like on days that I wasn't working, I was like, oh, this sucks. So yeah, I would 1000% take a winter up here than a summer down there. That's something I didn't like about living there. The drivers are crazy, like literally crazy. It was freaky. All in all, I met some forever friends down there that I will literally hold close to my heart forever. And I don't know, I just had the best time. I wouldn't change it for the world. I learned so much down there. Sorry, I keep sniffling. I really got teary there. But it was just the most fun experience, and I met so many amazing people, and I'm just so thankful and grateful for my time there and what I was able to do. It was just literally the experience of a lifetime. So I'm home now, and kind of a segue into what I want this channel to be. I definitely have been working on body confidence, body neutrality, which is something I would definitely want to talk about. It used to be so hard for me to even admit that I was a mid-sized girl. Like, I felt so ashamed to tell people, like, not that, I mean, everybody feels kind of uncomfortable being like, yeah, I'm a size 12 to 14. Nobody's gonna walk around and do that. And we're put under such pressure, and I just have a real passion for making people feel comfortable about that stuff and talking about it, because I don't know, it's 2020, nobody's really okay, and I just want to be a place where we can all come to talk about things together. I would love for that to be what my channel's about. That's kind of where I'm at with my YouTube channel. I just kind of want to run with it and see what happens, see what kind of content I come up with. That's kind of it. I just wanted to catch everyone up for a sec and let you guys know what it's been like working for Disney and doing all that and closing that chapter and opening a new one. And I'm just so excited to like, I don't know, just start a new chapter. Like, it's just time for me, and Disney was amazing, and always I will remember it so fondly, but I want to move on now, and there's a lot of things I want to do, a lot of places I want to go, and a lot of things I want to see. So if you'd like to see all those things with me, definitely like this video, subscribe for more, and yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. Hopefully I'll be uploading at least weekly. We'll see. But yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Bye. Mwah.